Well, for the second time in as many months, the Aquin Orangeville girls basketball co-op was denied by the NUIC conference. So tonight we're going to take a closer look at everything that's happened to prevent the two teams from coming together, starting with that first vote back in January. Now, for the vote to pass, 15 out of the 20 NUIC schools have to approve the measure. And back in January, 6 schools voted against right here: Galena, Lena Winslow, Eastland, Forreston, Dakota, and Pecatonica. So they all voted against, missed it by 1 vote, but it's important to note that last fall, the conference approved a boys basketball and baseball co-op between the two teams. Those top 4 teams voted against that as well, but Dakota and Pecatonica voted yes for the boys basketball and baseball co-op, but they said no for the girls in that initial vote. And here's what happened in the re-vote yesterday. All the same teams who voted no the first time did so again, except you'll notice Dakota is not on the list. Pecatonica is still there in those same 4, but there were 2 new schools that voted no this time around, and they flipped their vote from a yes to a no. The Ashton Franklin Center and East Dubuque both flipping to a no to once again deny the co-op. And Orangeville and Aquin say the prevention of this co-op is taking away from what high school sports should really be all about.
I think people lose fact that it's just high school sports. You're trying to grow your kids and upbring them, and as a coach, show them the right way and show them what's right. Not for wins and losses in high school, but to get them to college and get them to be better adults.
It's just disappointing that some of the schools, I don't know their thoughts, but it's about the kids. And when you get into education, you're in it for the kids.
Now, Aquin has tried to make it very clear, the conference has to the conference, that before both votes, they simply don't have the numbers to field a team next year, as their enrollment just keeps going in the wrong direction. Here's what the Bulldogs' high school enrollment was last year when their volleyball team went on to win a state title. They had 80 high schoolers enrolled in the 2022-2023 school year, but compare that to this year with just 49 high schoolers currently enrolled, and they are projected to only have 5 girls basketball players next season. So this co-op isn't something that Aquin is wanting to do, but it's really more of a necessity to keep the program going.
I think anybody that knows that's been a part of a co-op, there's a lot of pride in both schools, and it's not something easy to give up your name, give up your uniform. You know, that big A means a lot to a lot of people in this community.
We said earlier, the conference approved the co-op between Aquin and Orangeville for boys basketball and baseball last fall. Here's the biggest difference we've seen between the two programs, the boys side and the girls side. The combined record between the two boys teams, the Aquin individual team and the Orangeville individual boys team, was a combined 4-19 before that co-op started up this current season. Compare that to what the two girls teams this year, their combined conference records of Aquin and Orangeville, both of them playoff teams obviously, made it to a combined 20-4. So they're a stacked team that had a lot of talent, but Orangeville had some senior talent as well with Whitney Sullivan. She's not going to be here next year. So both teams are going to look different next season, and this co-op is supposed to go beyond just next year.
We lose the majority of that whole starting team except one player. So we're down to 5 girls off of that team coming back next year, and that's if everybody comes. You know, and we sent the conference everything as far as numbers, and this is our projection, and if everything's, you know, holds true, this is our numbers, and it's just you can't sustain, you know, 5 girls next year. I believe it was 6 girls the following year, and then back to 5.
And there's obviously a lot of moving parts in this situation, and Aquin has said they plan to work with the IHSA now to see if there's anything else they can do to try and get this co-op to happen, or anything they can do to make sure the program is in a good spot for next season. And there's still nothing stopping the conference from coming together for a 3rd vote on if they could approve it. But right now, the current Aquin girls players are in a tough position as they look forward to next year. We'll have more information on all this on our website, WREX.com. That's going to do it for sports for now, and we'll be back to wrap things up right after the break.